How do you get over feeling like an imposter as a new manager? I feel like I'm about to get found out.
Welcome to leadership, my friend. Here's the thing. Here's what you're actually scared of. What you're scared of most likely is them knowing and finding out that you don't know everything.
Right. That's why people don't like to admit when they're wrong, yeah?
Yes. And the thing that you need to know is it's okay. It's okay not to know everything. It's perfectly normal to be in a leadership position and not know everything in the world. You don't have to know everything about this particular job that you're going into or you don't need to know everything. You don't need to. What you need to do is go in, ask questions, listen to people, and say, hey, you know what? I haven't done this procedure before. I never worked with this piece of equipment before. Can you walk me through it? Can you show me how to do it? Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure I understand what you're doing. Make sure I get it. Oh, okay. Now, it's not an excuse to not know anything. Because if you're in a leadership position, you should be studying and reading and learning about whatever the role you're in so that you can understand it all. Study the manuals and the regulations and the procedures. And I'm not saying to follow all those things blindly without common sense. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there's a knowledge base that you should acquire very quickly when you roll into a leadership position. So put the work in and then apply common sense. But this is the same thing that I say every time somebody asks me about how do you lead this or how do you lead that or how do you lead new people or how do you lead senior people. It's the same answer every time. Be humble. Listen to them. Be on time. Work hard. Treat people with respect. Weigh the decisions carefully. Talk to people and then make a good decision. Empower your folks to lead. Don't micromanage them, but give them at the same time clear guidance about what the expectations are. It's just leadership. And when you're a new leader, it's all good. You don't need to know everything. You're not expected to know everything. And showing that you can admit that you don't know everything isn't going to hurt your reputation. It's actually going to help your reputation. Mm-hmm. So go in, be humble, ask some good questions, learn as fast as you can, and it's okay. And, I was thinking about this in the 80s and perhaps even in the 90s when guys were losing their hair and going bald, right? They'd do a comb over. Mm-hmm. So they'd try and pull their hair over their balding scalp so it didn't look like they were going bald.
Right.
And I'm telling you, as a leader, don't do a leadership comb over. Yeah. Do what guys do now, which is they just shave their head, right? Like, hey, you know what? I'm going a little thin up top. Yeah. All good. Just going to shave it off. Yeah. Hey, I'm your new leader. Don't know everything. It's all good. Yep. Here's where I'm weak. Give me a hand. Yeah. No big deal.
That's a good analogy, by the way.
Don't do the
leadership comb over. Tell me if you would agree with this, generally speaking. You ever watched the movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes?
Negative.
Anyway, Dennis, I think his name is Dennis Leary. Yeah, it doesn't seem like your kind of movie. But maybe it would be, I don't know. Anyway, Dennis Leary, he's this kind of underground rebel. Because basically L.A.
Is this a long explanation?
Yeah, I'm making sure. It has to do with leadership, though, for real.
Okay, I'm ready.
So
I'm all about leadership.
Basically, it's in the future, whatever. And the world is turned into this like oversensitized, like you can't swear, you can't eat junk food, it's the law. Like, so everyone's all nice and real weak and stuff like that. But there's a group of people who rebelled against it, went underground, right? And the leader of those guys is called Edgar Friendly, right? And so they go down and he's regarded as this huge criminal, right? Mm-hmm. So Demolition comes back, a long story about him. But anyway, he's back to help rid the world of these criminals. So he goes and he encounters Edgar Friendly, and they're not they're not these evil people. They're just trying to live basically a free life, Mm-hmm. And they're like, he's like, hey, why don't you lead these people out of here, right? And he's like, I'm no leader. Sometimes I do some shit and people come with me, right? That's kind of what he says. Mm-hmm. So isn't this? Here's the question. Sorry for the long explanation. Here's the question. How this guy's, he's kind of like worried about people finding him out that he's not a leader, right? Isn't that like a huge sign of humility that he's like on the inside, he's not,
Yeah, actually,
I know
yes.
everything, you
You're
know? He's
correct.
kind of like,
It's
man, I
actually-
don't know it all, you know? And I'm worried about this.
It's actually a good sign. You are correct. It's a
Yeah.
good sign when you got someone who's like, man, he wants to do a good job. He wants to
Right.
be respected as a
Yeah,
leader. He
yeah.
wants to do a good job, and he's like worried about it. So that is good. That is a good thing.
Yeah, it's like his humility is so genuine that's one of his many worries of being a leader, you know? That
It's a good sign. It's better than someone says, you know what, I'm about to take over as a new leader,
Yeah, and I'm gonna own this thing.
and I'm going to own this thing, and
bulldoze
I
everyone,
know everything, and
Yeah.
no one knows anything that I know, so it's going to,
Right.
yeah, you don't want to be that guy.